Do you ever wonder what your donation to Oasis becomes? What happens when your compassion and your actions move through the programs, the teams, the support system of Oasis and touch a life? Listen to Judith, the daughter of immigrants, describe it for you.
A lifeline is really the best because it is both relief and hope, right? That this is something in the middle of all the anxiety, the pressure, the questions, this is something that I can cling to that will help me find my way.
Like any other parents, Judith's parents had dreams and hopes of providing their children with a better life. And Judith, like many other immigrant children, knew that and what her response to that had to be.
So I am originally from Haiti, and my family moved to the States in 2004. As a kid, and this could be trauma or not, but I was always very much like, it is my responsibility, I gotta find the thing. And this is the experience for so many immigrant kids. Your job is to get into college, right? My parents at the time were very adamant, like, we're struggling, but we're not allowing you to get a job. Like, your only job is to do as well as you can in school and get into college.
Getting into college is hard enough for any teenager. But imagine coming to a new country where you don't know anyone, your parents are not fluent in the language, and every task feels like an immovable roadblock. That's where Oasis comes in.
Hard for just being a teenager, but having to navigate a new city, having to navigate immigration status and college. And I knew my parents couldn't afford to pay for college. Like, I knew that. And I knew my immigration status enough to know that I'm not gonna get a loan. So the only option was a scholarship. Like, that's the mindset that I was in when I found ITOP. Yeah, it's hard to put into words because at the time that was my whole life. Like, that is my purpose of being. Like, my parents made the sacrifice to come to this country for my own education. My job was to figure out that path. And yeah, so I think ITOP was really, when I say lifeline, it really was of like, oh, okay, suddenly, like, here are these other people who can help me navigate this thing when the plan that I had calculated is out of the window. Really, I remember during those 2 years, most things I did were with Oasis. My after-school programs, my summer programs, college applications. I was here in this building a lot. Yeah, it really was the place to go to. Like, when I didn't have other voices to provide that support, they were there for that.
Oasis staff is a formidable group of creative doers. Judith's journey had obstacles. Oasis staff had fortitude and resources. Judith shares their profound impact on her dream of attending college.
Again, I didn't even know about Williams until when I was looking at options with Jeff and Bob. Like, okay, here are the things that you're looking for. Let's look at your grades. Let's look at your ACT scores. Let's look at schools that have enough money to be able to provide scholarships. And then these are the options available. All of these things, like, I would not have been able to do by myself.
A BA from Williams College and a master's degree from Vanderbilt University, Judith finds her passion.
I knew I wanted to do something more social justice related. Yeah, so I started on the policy team as the policy fellow and now the advocacy director. So I lead our legislative advocacy work at the state levels and really try to figure out how do we push proactive policies that make the city and the state better for immigrants and refugees across the board. Yeah, we really work to make sure that people are aware and educated on the actual impacts of legislation that they're voting on. And for me, it's always about somebody recognizing their choices, seeing people exercise their options and exercise their rights. Like, that's always the inspiration, because ultimately that's what we want people to do, that you have options. In order for us to have a healthy state and a healthy city, everybody needs to be able to access the available options.
So, yes, your donation? Would it surprise you to know that it has grown to help over 380,000 other Tennesseans? Because Judith Clerjeune is the Campaigns and Advocacy Director at the Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition, where she oversees and leads policy priorities and campaign initiatives. That's what she did with your investment, invested in others. And that's what Oasis did with your support.
How do we invest towards putting out fruit in the future, if that makes sense? You know, how Oasis was able to invest in me. For me, it's keeping that mindset that the thing that we're trying to change is not just like one day or one immediate outcome. That's important too, but it's really how do we invest in strategies? How do we invest in programs that will ultimately lead to a safer, healthier, more effective infrastructure for all of us? I am forever grateful to Oasis, to you all. It's, yeah.
Judith and thousands of others thank you. And we thank you for empowering the empowerers.